Perfect. So today for the webinar, we're gonna introduce our speakers. We're gonna talk about the floral industry and the payment challenges that our users and audience face, the importance of virtual payments and why they matter so much for the floral industry. We're gonna do an overall introduction to Coronet payments and a live demonstration of how it works within the ERP. Then we're gonna share some case studies and some success stories, and then we'll teach you to get started with our solution. So today we're gonna have AJ, a principal at Radiant Capital, as a speaker. We'll also have Simon Char, our Coronet Payments Product Manager, and we'll have George Velez, our implementation specialist, join us for the conversation. So thank you all for being here and being our speakers.
So I guess it's my turn, Elena.
Yeah, thank
Great,
you.
thank you. It's great to see some familiar faces and some new ones. So I'll talk a little bit broadly about B2B payments, and then we'll transition to the floral industry before Simon takes us even deeper. I think starting really simply, the domestic B2B payments in the US is $125 trillion market, and over 85 trillion of it is digitized today. The remaining is on cash and checks and continues to become a smaller and smaller share. And this industry, like many other industries, faces challenges around better customer experiences, more efficient operations, and improved financial results because of it. And that's what's driving overall the digitization of payments. And so as we move to the next slide, Elena, I think where I want to focus on is we think about the value prop of virtual and digital payments integrated into an overall experience. It really comes down to what you see here, built on like three pillars: a better customer experience, more efficient operations, and better financial results. And that's what everything here is telling us. And so, all of us have probably been in an Uber or a Lyft or another ride share in some format recently, and I'm willing to bet none of us thought back and went, I really missed that part at the end where I like fumbled for cash and made a payment. And it's our B2C experiences, our consumer experiences, that are informing our B2B experiences. The bottom line is everybody wants better, easier, simpler ways to get things done so that they can go focus on the next thing. And traditionally, B2B has been behind in that because it's complex and can be difficult. But ultimately, the best B2B experiences are feeling more seamless and more integrated, because the same thing holds true in B2B that it does everywhere else. Like, better, happier customers buy more, or they stick around at the very worst. And we can't have bad experiences leading to unhappy customers. And around the operations, all of us are challenged with, how do we have a more scalable business that focuses on high value things. And the reality is, like, people are great at complex work that's hard to do and is high value. But people are not great at a lot of highly repetitive tasks where they can make mistakes. And those are great places to automate. And so when we think about B2B workflows, typically it's a lot of highly repetitive work. And so the chance to automate that allows people to go focus on the next thing. And focusing on the next thing means focusing on your customers, focusing on overdue AR, focusing on something that isn't just simply moving one item from one box to another. And the reality is that checks aren't free, cash isn't free. The estimated cost of handling a check in a B2B environment is up to $20 per check. And that comes with no guarantee that the funds are good, banking details that are not secure written on the check. And despite check volume decreasing dramatically, especially post-pandemic, check fraud is up over 100% year over year. Checks are becoming a great area for fraud. So when we combine expensive, time-consuming, prone to fraud, and no good funds, start leading to other better uses. And checks were a great way of solving things 20, 30 years ago, or even longer. But we've gotten better, just like many things. And all this comes back to improved financial results. Happy customers stick around, they buy more, better experiences, improved operations are more efficient and focus on high value things. And that can help reduce, overdue AR or, allow people to scale up and down during times of high volume. And also this is secure. And so, all of digital payments is a secular trend, and this industry is not different than others in that respect. And while it has its nuances, that the foundation is the same, right? It's, like I said, better customer experiences, more efficient operations, and improved financial results. I think Simon can help, transition us to like, how is this unique to the floral industry, and why are we so invested in building a better platform, for the industry?
Thank you, AJ. And of course, also happy to be here discussing these interesting topics around payments. So I would like to open up with particular challenges of the floral industry that can benefit from payments and most likely like integrated online payments. So one particular thing that the floral industry has is we have peaks of high demand and seasonal fluctuations. We also deal with perishable inventory. So it's also like we have time sensitive deliveries, and all these things are important when we talk about payments. And as AJ mentioned, for example, checks don't have like a zero cost in reality. Maybe they don't have like a tag of a processing fee, like a digital transaction, but they are non-zero cost options. And that's something that we have to have in mind when we talk about digital payments. So one way in which digital payments or online payments can help with the particular floral industry challenges is, for example, quick processing. And this is super important in high peak seasons, for example, Mother's Day, where we have so many orders and they increase at a very rapid rate. The ability to efficiently process all these orders and have then that cash flow the next day with a rapid settlement time, with easy reconciliation, it's like a night and day difference for operations. So the ability to quickly process payments and have that incoming funds ready the next day to basically finance your working capital for the next operation or the next holidays is really a game changer for businesses, and specifically to businesses that want to scale even more, like year to year. They want to increase their operations. They want to increase how many transactions they are having. Then having a processing, an efficient processing system in place with digital payments, it's really important. I also touched on cash flow management. So when you have payments that go virtually, for example, in Coronate Payments, you will have many card transactions that are deposited the next day in your bank account, and then you can use that to finance your operation. So cash flow management is super important in the floral industry. We have many merchants that basically use the funds from one day to finance the operation of the next day, and it's critical to have a efficient way to manage cash flow. And for example, one of the costs of checks is that you don't really know when that check is going to translate into an actionable working capital input for your business, because there's so much manual work, like unpredictability, managing that you really need this kind of other tools enabled by technology that will help you in your business and your daily operations of your business. Another thing is, as a business, as a floral industry, participant, you want to be competitive. There's a massive study done in 2022 after the pandemic that shows that many buyers, like 74% of buyers, are willing to change the vendors that they transact with for vendors that offer more flexible payment solutions, that give more flexibility around digital payments and more payment options. So it's really a question that if you want to remain competitive, probably you should start looking at options to optimize and to have like a better payment experience, not just for you as a merchant receiving funds, but as a thinking in your customer as a buyer. How's the buyer's experience of this customer? Are we offering several payment methods? Are we being transparent? Is there like good synchronization between what the buyer is seeing, the invoices, and the accounts receivable collections that we have? All that synergy is very reliable on technology, and not having something like that could really impact in the medium term to long term the operations of a business. So that said, I'm going to talk a little bit about, we can go to the next slide. We can talk a little bit more what is Coronet Payments. So um, Coronet Payments is basically an integrated payment solution that is embedded in all major channels of the Coronet ecosystem. We are constantly growing and seeing which other channels we can add value on the Coronet network. But we are in the ERPs, we are in the e-commerce channel as well, and we have created other channels like payment links. We're going to talk a little bit about that in the next few slides. But that's basically what we do. And our vision is we want to be present in every Floral transaction, adding value to buyers and also to sellers through helpful automations. So we really rely on having this experience and the automation to really increase the value proposition that we offer our merchants, but also the buyers that are buying through our Coronet network. Um, so yeah, that's basically an overview of what we are. Um, I think and if anyone has like a question, or AJ and George want to complement on something, we can pass to the next slide and see like a short demo for what we actually look like inside the ERP and the different flows that we cover. Um, but yeah, I'll give the word to George, and he could guide us through that good demo.
Simon and AJ, Elena, thank you so much for all of this information. I know that as an experienced professional in the floral industry, uh, talking about technology, comes hand in hand with such a global market, right? And technology is definitely what allows us to definitely start making decisions and start questioning ourselves whether what we're doing is going to allow us to scale to that next level. The idea of bringing all of these value propositions and functionalities to you is to make sure that we, like Simon said, add value. Like AJ said, make process operations more efficient, better customer experience. We really can't stress that enough, and we want to make sure that through these products we are delivering on that vision and on that promise. And again, the idea is to give you the confidence that you need to be able to make decisions. And one of the things that Comet Payments as an embedded functionality brings to the mix is the fact that we can look at our customers from a different perspective, expand our market reach, and go into the market segment that's smaller, that's not as known to us as everyone we've been working with throughout the years, that requires quite a bit of research and credit approvals and whatnot. Through this functionality, you're able to reach that customer directly without any risk to your business. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen and make sure that we show you how through our ERP we are making this happen. Elena, did you want to add anything before I start the demo? I want to make sure we're not missing anything you want us to cover.
We're good to go. Thank you.
All righty. All right. So everyone, what we're looking at here is a screen for those accounts that do not have Comet Payments enabled. Within your account, you will be able to see a Comet Comet account. If you're already working under our ERP, you'll be able to see a Comet Payment setting through setup settings if you have the admin access. And when you click there, literally this screen comes up where we can select the country we're in and create an account. Literally what this goes through is all of the prompts for you to be able to self onboard. However, the onboarding process to Comet Payments, it's fully guided. Before taking the attention away from this screen, Simon, a question about why only Canada and the US?
Yeah, so that's a list that we want to expand. Currently, like our market is mostly centered in North America, and we are seeing like many of the merchants are really operating in this side. But with the expansion of the Coronet network, we really want to be present in other countries. In Latam, for example, many growers are located in Latam, and we want to offer a payment solution for those transactions, like grower